the Nikon Z6 III for wedding photographers. It is all we're going to be talking about today here in Majorca. There's a tree in my face. And I want to say thank you so much to Nikon for sponsoring this video. Today we are using, I only brought one lens with me. It's crazy. Teaching workshop out here in Majorca, and I only brought the 35mm f1.2. Which is a very large 35mm prime. There are some smaller options in the Nikon lens lineup, like the 35 1.4 and 35 1.8S. The Nikon Z6 III got a bit of a bad reputation. For some reason, I honestly don't know why. The dynamic range, the high ISO capabilities, all incredible on this camera. And it really is the best blend of all of the Nikon world right now. And by that, I mean that the Nikon Z8, the Z9, they're both amazing, but the form factor of the Z6 III is one that I prefer. So the Nikon Z6 III hit some controversy early on about the dynamic range, and I've used this camera a lot, including in really challenging low light conditions, and I have never had any issues at all. When it comes to the Z6 III for wedding photography, it does everything that you need all day long. That's what the seagulls sound like here? That's wild.
Not only is the Z6 III great for weddings, but it's also great for everything. It is the most general camera that Nikon makes at a great price point. It's also a reasonable size, so it's very easy to bring with you when you're traveling and to not have to bring an entire backpack just dedicated to your camera kit. High ISO at the top of the mountain in the morning, really nice. Beautiful mist. Unfortunately, it's kind of blocking our view a little bit. And just a quick shout out here to the 35-1.2. It is an absolutely incredible lens. One of my favorite lenses I have ever used, and I am so happy that it exists.
In terms of ergonomics, I would say that this is one of the best cameras that I've ever used. Also, the screen is incredible. Nikon screens, the EVFs are really just, they get you amped up whenever you take a picture. You're like, wow, that's how good it looks, especially with a lens like this 35-1.2. It really surprises you and gets you even more excited to keep taking pictures. In terms of autofocus, I know that Nikon had a bit of a slow start when it came to mirrorless, especially in low light environments, but I am happy to say that this is up to the industry standard, and I'm very happy using this camera in any conditions. Now, when it comes to image quality, you are going to be so happy, not only with the Nikon Z6 III, but also with all of the lenses that you can get from the Nikon Z ecosystem. Plus, you can also use any of your f-mount lenses with the adapter, which gives you access to, I think, 300 other lenses, like the fisheye that I use from time to time, as well as the 45mm tilt shift, which is also an amazing lens. Now, I do wedding photography, but I also do a lot of hybrid photo video coverage. And when it comes to video, the specs Nikon is coming out with are crazy. They've recently acquired Red, and a lot of good video tech is coming to these cameras, including the new firmware update where you get shutter angle on the Nikon Z6 III. And that's not happening with any other brands in the industry. When it comes to the video quality, I am so happy as well.
A few other things that are important for us wedding folk: dual card slots, very important to have that redundancy, as well as weather sealing and just being prepared for any weather conditions, because sometimes you're going to be out there in the mist. If it's a torrential downpour, you're probably not going to bring your couple out there, so you're probably never going to have to deal with it. But if it is misty out there and you got to get that shot through the window, you are able to do it. Another thing I'll mention when it comes to the files: one, I love the skin tones that come out of Nikon cameras. I shoot everything with a shade white balance profile typically, and I just love that look and the feeling that it gives me. And the files overall are just my favorite to work with in the industry. If it comes to a backlit shot, I feel like I can just achieve the look I'm going for a lot faster, and I can get exactly what is in my mind in post-production. The straight out of camera JPEGs are also amazing, so if you are just quickly loading something to your phone in order to share on social media, you are going to have a great experience. I'll also mention that while the EVF is amazing, I shoot most of my images and videos with the screen. I started doing this a few years ago, and it just allows me to communicate with my couples and people a little bit better, and not having that camera in front of my face, I feel like allows me to create better work. And also it's a little bit easier to get the camera around to get some angles that you might not otherwise. And if you are interested in coming with us to one of these workshops, I do them with my friend Cole at Roadie Workshops. Follow me on Instagram. That's probably the easiest place to find out about new and upcoming workshops.
There it is, a Nikon Z6 III for wedding photographers. If you're looking for a hybrid photo, video, or just photography or just video camera, this is the one to go for as a wedding professional.
And if you do want to see a full wedding day with a Nikon Z6 III, it's floating right there on the screen. You can click it right now. See you over there.